Hey, what's up guys? We're back with another study video. Today we're looking at designing secure workloads and applications. A lot of this section overlaps with the IAM content from the last video, so if you haven't seen that one yet, be sure to check it out. You can also subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Let's start with VPCs. A virtual private cloud can be thought of as a network set up within the cloud. Here we have everything it takes to build the network. AWS accounts come with a default VPC already set up for us, so we can poke around and see what's available. AWS tells us that we should not delete this default VPC, but you can create additional VPCs as needed. It's important to note that VPCs don't directly connect with other VPCs. More on secure connections later. Within our VPC, we must have at least one subnet, which gives us a range of IP addresses within our VPC. Our services, like EC2, will have an IP address within that subnet. Subnets are crucial for segmenting your network and isolating workloads for better security and management. We also have Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, or DHCP, within our VPC. We can configure DHCP option sets to provide dynamic addresses and domain names within the VPC. Elastic IP or EIP is another AWS service within the VPC. This gives us public static IPv4 addresses that we can assign within our VPC. Each IP comes with a fee, regardless of whether it's being used or not. We can use these IPs to make our VPC resilient, as we can switch between them if one fails. Similar to EIPs, we have Elastic Network Interfaces, or ENIs, which connect to an instance. Think of an ENI as a virtual network card for your VPC. It can connect one public IP address and multiple private IPs. Within our VPC, we may want to connect to another AWS service. This is where we would build an endpoint. Endpoints provide secure and private connections to the AWS services, bypassing the public internet. There are two main types: gateway endpoints for services like S3 and DynamoDB, and interface endpoints which use ENI. We'll dive more into VPC pairing when we get to domain 4, but for now, know that this allows us to connect two VPCs securely. Direct Connect can also be used for a highly secure and performant VPC to VPC connections, although that's less common use case. In our VPC, we have security groups. As we saw in the last video, security groups allow us to allow access to our services. This is in contrast to Network Access Control Lists, or NACLs, where we have a set of rules with ordered precedence. The lowest number rule always applies, so even if a higher number rule denies access, the lower rule will still grant it. Network Address Translation, or NAT, helps us make connections outside of our private subnet and receive responses. AWS gives us both NAT gateways and instances. It's recommended to use gateways as they're generally cheaper to run. Now, let's talk about securing the applications themselves. Secure coding is essential. This includes validating all user inputs to prevent SQL injection, adhering to the principle of least privilege within our application, and regularly updating your software with security patches. For credentials, never hardcode secrets directly into your code. Instead, use AWS Secrets Manager. Secrets Manager encrypts and stores your sensitive data, lets you retrieve it programmatically, and supports automatic rotation for enhanced security. AWS provides services specifically designed for security. Amazon Cognito handles user authentication and authorization, managing users, logins, and access control. Amazon GuardDuty, a threat detection service that monitors for malicious activity and unauthorized behavior. Amazon Macie helps you discover and classify sensitive data stored in S3, preventing accidental data leaks. Be aware of common threats like DDoS attacks, which flood your application with traffic, and SQL injection, which exploits vulnerabilities in your code to access your database. AWS WAF helps mitigate these and other web application threats. AWS Shield provides managed DDoS protection. AWS WAF, or Web Application Firewall, filters malicious traffic to your web applications. Use VPNs to create encrypted tunnels over the internet for secure access to your VPC. For even better security and performance, use AWS Direct Connect to establish a dedicated private connection between your on-prem network and AWS, bypassing the public internet. By implementing these security best practices and leveraging AWS services, you can create a robust security posture for your workloads and applications in the cloud. In the next video, we'll look at how to determine appropriate data security controls, including data at rest and data in transit. Thanks for watching.